I feel like shit.
Monday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, let's not go home.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scum bucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to make stays.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about it.
Happy days.
It's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to make stays.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is to keep your distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 11 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. How is everyone doing this fine Sunday evening? It's not particularly sunny today, although it's still relatively warm though, so it's there. Hope everyone's had a great weekend, and hopefully we'll get the show along the way. I just want to have a quick look and see who's in the chat just now. I think there's been a couple of new faces before the show started that just subscribed. So at the moment I'm on 983 subs. Maybe less, maybe more by the time the show goes on or it ends tonight. I'm not entirely too sure, but you never know. But the main point here is I'm very close to hitting 1,000 subs. So for that to happen, can we all please share the stream, share the channel on all kinds of platforms you're on, so that way that could possibly happen of reaching 1,000 subs. That would be amazing. But that out of the way, let me just have a quick look and see who's in the chat just now. A lot of familiar faces. Gammon Sandwich, how you doing, sir? Thank you for watching the stream. Budgie Burger, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream as always. Ugly Truth, how you doing? Space Ladies and Gents 14. Baldy Fault Fart 14th, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream again. Scott's Armour, as per usual. Check out Scott's Armour's stream at 9:30 tonight. I'll see if I can post a link for that stream later on this evening. So if you have a sub to Scott's Armour already, please do so. And then check out the stream at 9:30 tonight. I think he's going to be on with two other content creators, Resisting the Lies and I was going to say Bonnie Lad, sorry. No Chance is also going to be on that as well. So please check it out tonight and see from there. Let me see here. Ugly Truth. It's jogging home, is jogging home, is jogging, football's jogging home. Yes, I think it's going to be the Euro final that's on tonight between England and Italy, I believe it is. I was going to support Italy for the final. The reason for that being is because England is full to the brim of diversity and the woke shit. But then, of course, I saw a news report. Can't exactly remember where exactly, whether it's the Guardian or any other news report from Britain. Basically said that Italy will be taking the knee alongside with England. So Italy is completely cucked, which I thought they would be a base country because of their immigration, but I guess I was totally wrong on that fact. Or maybe they are, but when it comes to the whole playing with England, they had to do it because of the British Stadium. I don't know whatever the reason is, but it's bullshit nonetheless. So Amanda Lee, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Hello, Phil. I've seen you in other streams, but I appreciate you appearing on this stream in the chat, so that's good for you to be here. So thank you very much. Sparky1690, good evening to you too. Thank you for watching the stream. Bobagius, thank you for watching the stream as well. I think you're maybe new here, but if you're new here, thank you very much for watching. Sub to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that like button, of course. That would be much appreciated. But thank you for joining tonight. Let me see. I've heard that the Italians were going to take a knee. I've mentioned that already, but it's completely bullshit. They're doing that. Completely cucked by all means when it comes to Italy. At least Balotelli isn't playing. I think I pronounced that. It's Italian, of course. Hey, how you doing? Boopy. Let's see. By 10 p.m. it will all be over and we can go back to normality until the World Cup next year. Oh, is the World Cup next year? Oh, I think it's every 4. Is it 4 or 5 years? I can never really tell, but it's a bit. Well, then again, I think the Euros might be last year, but because of COVID happened and it had to be done this year. But yeah, the World Cup next year, that's going to be pretty eventful. That's going to be really eventful. What Tyler 1381, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream as always. Let me see here. Good intro, bruv. Well, thank you very much, Baldy. I really appreciate that. That's the opening for the Mood of the Nation podcast. So hopefully at some point I might do like an edited version, like the same song but like different clips with it that tie into the overall theme of the podcast. But you never know. Maybe something might happen, maybe not. So who knows? Let me see here. Big Ears, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Shared on VK. Well, thank you very much, Baldy. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Please hit like, please all. Yep, definitely do that. Henry Hill, evening to you too. Thank you for watching the stream. Like and subscribe. Well, thank you very much, Amanda Lee. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Moody, kind of you, mate. No worries, Scott Armour. You're very welcome on that with the plug. Let me see here. Jose, I think pronunciations with that. Thank you for watching the stream. Let me see here. I think that will be it for the time being. Oh, hold on one sec. PL2451, I hope I pronounced that correctly. All the Western European nations have a media controlled by the same people. We definitely know who those people are. We definitely know who they are, of course. Yeah, every 4 years. I thought it was every 4 years, but then again, like I said before, I'm not the biggest football fan ever. But of course, even now, with the whole stand up to racism and all that other gay shit that's going on just now, so definitely would be something I would not support by any means, of course. English Sailor, hello, how you doing? Roscoe, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. And that's about it for this evening with the chat. So, that's good. Anyway, I have quite a lot of English Sailor. Who controls the media? Oh, we know who controls the media. We know. The people, the small hats types, we all know. Anyway, what I was going to say, I definitely got quite a few selections of topics to talk about. I think about 3 or I don't want to push it 4, but I definitely have 3 topics I definitely want to cover for this fine evening. So the first one is pretty much a follow-up to what I talked about this past Thursday in terms of the 13-year-old victim, Leon in Austria. So for those who don't know, I talked about a certain horrible tragedy that happened to this 13-year-old who was kidnapped, raped, tortured, and pretty much left to die at her own place by immigrants. I believe they were, I think they were Afghani or Somalian. Basically, they were like non-white type of immigrants, so to say the least with that. Absolute horrible tragedy that happened, and my heart goes out to the friends and family who've been affected by this. Definitely should never have happened to this lassie. And as I said with the previous stream, it goes back to this idea of we are living in a time where there's clearly an anti-white agenda going on just now, and that case is it's a pure example of that. Now, as I talked about that this past Thursday, I had a look into Telegram or other platforms just to see what's going on, and even trying to come up with stories for today's episode. Well, yeah, even Baldy Old First said they were Afghan, right? So there we go. So I was right the first time, they were Afghan. So of course, no surprises there. That the perpetrators were Afghani immigrants, of course. Amanda Lee even said, and if you are not white, you're all the same, that poor girl. Exactly. So this is a bit of a follow-up to that story, because I follow Brittany Sellner on Telegram and also YouTube as well and other platforms. She shared a post recently on Telegram, and I also got the tweet about this as well, where basically a bunch of leftist twats who, for some messed up reason, instead of actually caring about the victim, they decided to care about the horrific monsters who committed this horrible act. So what I'll do is I'll just go share the screen right now, because I've got the tweet here by disclosed.tv. Hold on a second from Ugly Truth. Europe needs to bring back the death penalty for these crimes. They should be put down. I do agree with that, yes. As I said, I might have said this in the previous stream, but if you're somebody who commits a horrible act towards children of any age, of course, before they hit the age of 18, of course, then I think there's a case example of you need to be punished absolutely severely. No ifs, ands, or buts for that matter. So I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, real quick, Tony Smith, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let me just go ahead and share the screen here, and I'll get to the tweet just a second. Share audio, definitely share audio. Also put in the screen here. That's better. There we go. So here's a tweet from disclosed.tv. This tweet was made on the 8th of July, so I think this was actually the same day when that's actually pretty funny. Well, it's not funny, the news story itself, but it's funny that this came out the same time, or maybe it was actually after episode 10's stream. So I would say this is a good timing to talk about this now for today's episode. So let me just quickly read the tweet here real quick. It reads, new left-wing extreme, or new, like news report, of course. Left-wing extremist group stormed the offices of the Austrian news site OE24 because it named the Afghan nationality of the 4 perpetrators in the murder and rape case of 13-year-old Leonie. So already this is off to a terrible start, but let's have a watch of this and see from there.
Hier geht's runter, das ist Betriebsstörung.
Wir haben es doch satt.
Checkt
Das
ihr das
Vergehen
nicht?
für
Mal
Betrieb
das Kummer
lässt
weg?
dass all diese Gewalt passiert sei. Gewalt gegen überlebte Personen. Das ist seit 2015 ein Problem. Sie sind blind.
So just real quick, there's no subtitles to this, so I wish there was subtitles so we can understand what they're saying. But I think we can kind of get a gist of what exactly is going on between the people who support Leonie and support the family with this case, and the other side, this left-wing group decided to support the Afghani bastards that did this to this lassie. I also forgot to mention that, of course, as per usual, there will be some colourful language throughout the episode, so if you're offended by that, obviously tune out, but if you don't mind that, then, that's totally fine in this case. So I will just continue on from there. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, we're just about 22 seconds in, so we'll just finish it off from here.
Ihr seid blind und zu feige, eure eigene Gewalt zu respektieren und zu reflektieren. Jede patriarchale
Ihr seid
Gewalt.
zu feige, eure scheiß Gesichter zu zeigen.
Ja, du solltest das besser nicht zeigen.
Na komm, zeig, komm.
Ja.
Na, was ist, Feigling?
Ja, hallo.
Oder jetzt. Geh mir nicht an. Es steht die ganze Zeit auf meine Haxnummer dumm, was ist?
Warum passen Sie an?
Weil sie auf meine Füße herumdreht.
Ich habe nicht.
Was ist mit euch?
Raus hier jetzt, raus. Okay. Raus. Sofort. Na, bitte.
Schlechter geht's.
Nicht in das Schema von Normalpass mit Angelpunkt und alles, was euch dazu einfällt, ist die Staatsangehörigkeit und den Asylstatus des angeblich Verantwortlichen zu betonen und ihre anscheinend kulturell veranlagte Kriminalität hervorzuheben. Denn die Ausländer sind ja nun mal so. Damit lenkt ihr eigentlich vom Thema ab. Von der Ursache, weshalb Leonie ermordet wurde. Weil sie ein Mädchen war, weil sie Opfer von patriarchaler Gewalt wurde.
Darf ich dir kurz was sagen?
Aber
ich kann euch voll verstehen.
wir würden das gern fertig machen.
Ja, aber ihr seid hier falsch. Ich möchte wissen, was wollt ihr denn erreichen?
Die Redaktion ist nicht einmal hier. Die Redaktion sitzt ein Stock weiter unten. Wir sind das Verkaufsteam.
Ja.
Wir haben mit dem
Ja, da merkt man nicht ungefähr.
arbeitet ihr für 24.
Wir arbeiten
Na, was müssen wir denn tun?
Polizei berufen.
Ja, natürlich.
Es geht ja,
Na komm, ja, tut's nicht.
es geht ja auch genau darum, dass daraus Profit geschlagen wird.
Wenn wir jetzt halt nicht einfach in ein Büro reinkommen, wo arbeitende Menschen sind.
Das ist ein Büro, wo normalerweise Verkäufer arbeiten. Geht's im zweiten Stock, da ist der Newsroom.
And there we go. 22 seconds done. Let me just close. Actually, no. Let me just keep it up just a short second because I want to see if I can get a good image of these absolute fuckwits who decide to support the 4 Afghani perpetrators who committed this crime. Yeah, there we go. That's a perfect image right there. So. I did watch this video beforehand, before the episode, just to get a good idea of what's going on with this particular video. Now, I wish that there definitely was subtitles, just so we understand what they're saying. But like I said, you kind of get an understanding of what's going on here between the news reporters and the people who, so I guess you would say, support Leonie with this case, and the people between, and of course the other side being the leftist group that are getting so incredibly butthurt because how dare this news anchors or this news organization, or news site I should say, even says there, of actually naming the 4 perpetrators who committed this horrible act. And they're a left-wing extremist group. I don't know if they're Antifa or maybe a completely separate left-wing group from Austria, but this, I could not believe what I was witnessing with watching this video. The fact that there are people in Austria, or not even just Austria, because you can imagine this would happen anywhere within the Western world at this point. The fact of the matter is there are people who would, instead of actually looking at this case and sympathizing with the victim, instead they're looking at the perpetrators, these barbaric monsters, and treating them as if they're the victims. Like, oh, how dare you naming the perpetrators who committed this case. Just the amount of mental gymnastics these people have to go through to try and make themselves look progressive and to make themselves look all fucking tolerant. I've said this before in the past, but these people are nothing more than useful idiots. You know, to think that they're going out of their way to try and make themselves look good and presentable for the establishment, when it's so blatantly obvious that they're basically setting themselves up for something even worse down the line. Because we all know about the demographic changes, and these people honestly think that these Afghani immigrants or any type of non-white immigrant coming into these European countries and think that they're gonna be supported by these non-whites. Absolutely not. These non-whites are going to look at them as the enemy. They're going to be looked at as the cancer of society and probably do what's happened to the white farmers in South Africa, but far, far worse. It's, honest to God, like absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, because what happened to this lassie, this 13-year-old lassie who's raped and murdered by these absolute fucking animals, and for these people to come out of the woodwork and try to make the news site look bad and try to make the perpetrators as the victims here. These people need to look at themselves. Well, I don't think they'll ever will do something like that. Look at themselves in the mirror, because they honestly think they're the good guys in this overall case when they're not. They're the type of people who like everything that is good in this world is looked at as bad, and everything that's bad in this world is looked at as good, and these people are perpetuating that type of bullshit. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. Again, my apologies for the language here. I know I've said that many times, but with something like this, you can understand how frustrating it would be to have these absolute... And there's another point I also want to make real quick. Let's all be brutally honest here. Most of these left-wing extremist groups that go out of their way and try to protect, migrants and all of that, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they're probably all of these Middle Eastern... not Middle Eastern, sorry. These middle-class douchebags. People who never went through any hardships in their life. People who live in these all-white areas. And God forbid that they would have like some type of immigrant moving into their own area. Oh no, we don't want these immigrants moving over here. No, have them move over to these working class areas. Those people, everything happening to the working class, they deserve it. Not us middle class people. Well, that's exactly what these people are. They're these people that have never went through any hardships, are middle class. They have, they've never been told no at any point in their lives whatsoever. They get everything handed to them on a silver fucking platter, and they think they honestly are the good guys of society, when it's so blatantly obvious that they're the opposite of good. They're anything but that. Fuck these people, honestly. And again, my apologies for the language, but as I said before just now, yeah, Amanda Lee said it best. They are deluded. Oh, no, sorry, Woodlander, sorry. Amanda Lee, they are deluded. And even Jacob Jace here said they are deluded. They absolutely are deluded. They're the definition of deluded. They're so deluded. It's actually incredible just how deluded these people really are. It's absolutely incredible how deluded they are. Let me see here. I see a few more people watching the stream, so that's really good. I wonder if maybe people have shared it already, so that's excellent to see. I do see here there's Woodlander in the chat. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Again, my apologies for... I know I keep saying this a lot, but my apologies once again for the language, of course. But as you can all tell, a case like that, something like that happened, and all these douchebags come out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, how dare you name the perpetrators? Can't you just see that they're all, the victims here?" And I love how that they believe they go out of their way and try to believe their stuff and like there's so much of the good guys here that they're willing to just hide their identity by wearing hats, these cap hats. Or baseball caps, however you want to call them, hats basically, wearing all these scarves covering their nose and faces, and wearing fucking sunglasses. Like, oh yeah, they're totally are the good guys here. They do exactly what groups like Antifa normally do, which makes you think, if they really are such the good guys of society, why is it that they hide their own identities? Because after all, they keep claiming that they're on the right side of history, right? People like our side, right? Proper nationalists, they always come out and say, oh, we're the horrible, nasty people, we're racist, we're xenophobic, and all of that. But then as soon as when push comes to shove, if they're actually getting confronted by an actual nationalist, then they cower away and just and run away like the pussies that they really are. It's absolutely disgusting, these people. Fuck them. Gamma Sandwich, why would these women, who I assume would call themselves feminists, take a side of these Afghan men over an Austrian girl? Gamma Sandwich, we all know why. It's part of the woke agenda. It's part of this idea of, yes, there's a possibility that they're feminists. We don't know if that's a confirmation of that, but let's pretend for a moment that they're feminists. They're going to support the Afghani immigrants over the 13-year-old victim here because it's progressive, because it's the tolerant thing to do. And of course, just adding on to that fact, right, let's all be brutally honest here. When it comes to the left, there's no any sense of consistency with these people whatsoever. These are the kinds of people who will move the goalposts whenever it suits their political agenda. It's a common fact now at this point. And even Jacob J4746 here says they are beyond help. They are beyond help. They are so far gone down the rabbit hole that there's no point. You can try all you want of trying to get them out of it, but they never will. They're stuck there till they're fucking dead, basically. Anyway, so can't see their noses. Let me see here. Yeah, Mini Millie, unbelievable. It is unbelievable, and also thank you very much for watching the stream as well. It definitely is unbelievable. The amount of mental gymnastics people will go to try and act all progressive and all that. It's just absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. There are mainly women as well for FC. Yeah. I don't think I've seen any male participants there, but anyway. Yeah, English sailor. Yeah, that's the true. Yeah, good question, or not question, but good statement here. Imagine defending child murderers. I know. Like these people, and like I said, these same groups, these leftist groups, I want to turn around and say we're the bad ones. We're the ones who are the cancers of society. That we're the ones that need to be locked away and never to be seen the light of day within society. When I think there was like a similar story that happened. I don't know if it was last year or a couple of years back, or maybe it was early. No, I don't think it was early this year. But wasn't there something that happened either in Northern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland where there was this anti-pedophilia group that came out and trying to bring awareness to the grooming scandal that was going on, or molestation scandal that was going on at the time. And then you have fucking, I don't know if it was Antifa or any other lefty organization that came out of the woodwork and supported the pedophiles, or supported the idea of pedophilia. Yeah, we know that what types of people these leftists really are. They're the most subhuman group of people I've ever seen. And I know that may be shocking to say, like, oh, that's a bit far. I don't care. These people have no sense of honor, no sense of any sense of morality with these people whatsoever. And again, these leftists want to act like as if we're the bad people here. Right, okay. I think we all definitely know which side of history will be the good side here in this case. These useful idiots remind me of Mao's Red Guards who threw China into total chaos. Oh, I could definitely see that. I remember watching a video about that, and it's shocking, because I was like, back in the, I don't want to say the 70s or the 80s. I think it was either the late 80s or the 90s, but it was a long time ago it happened. And yeah, all the stuff that's going on at that point, it's definitely happened here. I don't know if it maybe to the point it's like that bad, but it's slowly but surely getting far more worse. Scott's Armor, our society is enriched with freaks governed by a cult of maniacs, and only the insane speak the truth. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point. It's just, it's the only thing that could possibly, I know that this is only the first story that to come out of this episode, but that may come off as very blackpilling for a lot of people. But look, at the end of the day, we're only just speaking the truth here, and there's only one possible way how we can get all this sorted. Well, two possible ways. The first one is just speaking the truth and just telling it like it is, and just also just go out and I want to say protest, but do everything you can to spread awareness and actually calling out for what this bullshit really is. Again, just speaking the truth, really. So just speaking the truth. Let me see. Ragnar71, thank you for watching the stream as always. I really appreciate that. Let me see here. And Shinobi, thank you for watching the stream. I would lead them on to the show. Roscoe. Oh dear. Oh my god. Let me see. What else is said here? I think I'm up to date with the comments. Rory, hello. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. They aren't so deluded. They are emboldened by the system being on their side. Yeah, I could definitely see that with Lando. I would definitely see that. Because we all said it before, that they're all basically just useful idiots, and these people think that they're not going to be affected by multiculturalism in the worst possible way or anything like that, then they're completely screwed. They're screwed beyond belief. Let me see here. Good to hear. Let me see here. They're all called Muhammad, so what difference does it make? Oh dear. Let me see here. Watching the preamble to the footy, the England team on the pitch, interesting the way the white players all stay together, and so do the blacks in their own little groups. Well, of course, it's almost like as if there's like some kind of like idea of each race would rather be with their own people. You know, we always hear often these lefty types, or even say like the Sivnat types, always say or talk about, oh, like there's no such thing as a race. We're all one race, the human race, and all that other cringe that we hear about. But Gamma Sandwich just now pointed out with the before the match even goes on, that yeah, all the white players and of course the non-white players get together in their own little groups. As I said, it's almost like as if like each race would rather be with their own people. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the fact of reality when it comes to race realism, of course. Let me see. They never want to talk about women being stoned to death in Islamic states. Of course they wouldn't, because it goes against their whole overall agenda. See, it's completely fine and easy to talk about the quote unquote problems within Western countries or European countries, but when push comes to shove, if the reality hits, or they get told, well, if you're against this, then why then aren't you talking about women being stoned to death in Middle Eastern countries? They got nothing to say on that matter. They got absolutely nothing to say. Although there was an argument that was made back in the day where they would talk about, oh, well, we can't exactly criticize those countries because that's part of their culture. You know, you remember that stuff, like, oh, we can't criticize those countries because the stuff that happens there, that's part of their culture, you know, so we can't exactly criticize that. Right, okay. So you would want to criticize European or American, you know, westernized countries that are way more better than any of these third world or Middle Eastern countries, but you would never want to criticize countries like Saudi Arabia or any other country like that. Right, okay. Again, the mental gymnastics is absolutely staggering, in my opinion. Another familiar face here, Cyborg. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Hail Moody. Oh, thank you very much, Cyborg. I really appreciate that. Ragnar71. How many white people sit in seats of power in India, Pakistan, China, or Japan? Why do we have to suffer it? Well, see, that's the thing. It goes back to this overall anti-white agenda. This entire point gets brought up many times in other people's streams and other videos, but it's a good point nonetheless. You will never ever see that in terms of demographic changes in these types of countries. Like, you would never see a white politician going to India or Pakistan or China or Japan or any other non-white countries and say, hey, there's so many indigenous people within this country living here, and I, as a white politician, think that there should be more white people should be represented in these parliaments, or black people should be represented, or other, basically indigenous people within these countries. That would never ever happen. In fact, if anything, they would be laughed out of the parliament and probably be sent back to their own original homeland. So the reason why we're seeing it in the European countries, because it's part of the anti-white agenda. Now, I wouldn't go as far calling it a white genocide, because I think genocide, although some people would make the argument that it definitely is a genocide, I would say a more appropriate term would be white erasure or erasement. I think erasement might be a word, but basically they're trying to do everything they can to get rid of us as humanly possible, whether it's our history, our culture, hell, our own people. They want to get rid of us as quickly as humanly possible. Hence why we're seeing the amount of immigration changes all across the country for pretty much a few years now, and it's only going to get worse and worse from here. Let me see here. I'll see. Our pal, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. I do see here there's 50 people watching the stream already, so that's really good. Yeah, that was in the Republic. I thought I was in the Republic of Ireland. I thought that was, because there was a lot of stuff that was happening in the Republic of Ireland where the indigenous people of that Ireland actually spoke out against it, that, you know, this is a country for Ireland for the Irish, which is a totally base thing to say. I do completely agree with that. So I do remember that was something that was going on. Again, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but it was definitely something that happened that did caught my interest at the time. There've been a few cases. There have been a few cases where people have refused to let planes take off after hearing that a deportee is on flight with them. Well, there you go. There you go. What else is said? No name. Avoid this football shite 100%. Yeah, definitely don't watch it. I know it's meant to be the final tonight, but yeah, definitely avoid it because of the whole, anti-white woke stuff that's going on just now. I mean, it's really not worth watching the football at this point. And then you have the fact that, San Francisco gay chorus singing a song about coming out for children and not a people in mainstream media. Don't you worry, Baldy Old Fart. That's actually going to be the next topic we'll talk about. Actually, yeah, why not? I got that here next on the list anyway, but that's definitely something I'm going to be talking about just now. Because that... all these leftists talking about how, there's no any hidden agenda going on with the gay community or the LGBTQ, whatever alphabetical words or numbers you want to add on to that community that's going on just now. But after watching this video that I'm going to put up in just a second, well, it's a different type of video, but I'll explain why in a second. I could definitely see that there's going to be people turning against the gay community even more at this point. So, like attracts like. Football is all about colour versus colour. Yeah, it's pretty much at that at this point. They probably still have their jewellery on and don't want it robbed. I could definitely see that. Let me see. 2 out of 3 of the English team are not British. They're all from other countries. It's no longer an actual English team. What is everyone's view on psychedelics? I believe they are the future. I'm not entirely too sure. Well, when it comes to psychedelics, you mean like stuff like shrooms or anything like that at all? See, I'm not. I don't know. I'm quite unclear about that, to be quite honest. Not that I would take them myself, but I personally would not be too sure about that, to be quite honest with you. Well, Africa had white rulers. The trains ran on time. Well, that's because they did not have trains before we came. Let me see. Well, they built them. Julia, hello, how you doing? That's how Rome fell. Yep, I believe that's how Rome fell. Yeah, because of that. Let's see. They had not even invented the wheel. Are we really going to be arguing about that kind of thing in the chat just now? Those who haven't and can, please remember to like. Yep, definitely remember to like the stream, guys. I would appreciate that. Funny you mentioned Ireland. I watched Survive the Jive history of Ireland last night. That's fair enough. Italy hate jogging. Let me see. No name. The reason why we have to tolerate non-white rule is because the overwhelming amount of normies are happy to tolerate it because they're retarded pigs who don't further than their mortgage. Yeah, well, that's one of the big problems, isn't it? The normie types, people who are not really fully aware, or of course don't look, don't look further than their mortgage. Yeah, it's because they'd rather just not pay. Well, either they don't pay attention or they know what's happening, but they would rather not fully commit to what's actually going on and could just continue on with their lives until it's too late, of course. Hashtag clean for life. Rome let too many immigrants in, and once there was more of them than the natives, they started demanding changes. That's why they said Rome fell in a day. So that's how the Roman Empire fell, and of course we're definitely seeing something like that happening now. So unless we do something about it, I would imagine that the entire Europa or Europe will definitely fall the same way as Rome did. Mind, like, and subscribe, folks. Yep, that's absolutely true, Cyborg. Thank you for saying that in the chat. I definitely agree with that. How many subs do I have at the moment? Just real quick, hold on, because I think there's been a few more subscribers added on to the stream. Hold on, 987 subs, so about 13 subs away to 1,000. We're getting there, folks. And of course 34 likes for today's episode, so that's still relatively good. I really appreciate that, guys. Right, let me see. Okay, so that's all up to date with the chat. Alright, let me just get into the next topic, which is about the San Francisco gay chorus or gay choir, because that's quite a topic to talk about right here just now. Let me just, I'm not sure the screen. No, that's fine. Okay, so let me just have a look at this right here. And then let's see what I got here just now. Okay. In terms of the video itself, I think I do have that. I got the articles about that right. Okay. So let me see if I can find the video, which I believe I shared that on my Telegram page. Hold on one sec. So yeah, that's the one. So I've got here just now. Right. So I found this video. Now I have seen clips of the full video, but unfortunately I couldn't find the original video because the channel who uploaded it decided to put the video on private. I think either they privated the video or the video was outright deleted. And I would imagine because this all happened because of the backlash that this video received. I mean, what did they honestly think was going to happen? Because the way the video was portrayed was absolutely creepy. Now, I do have the video here in question about the gay chorus video. It's not the full video because it's actually like a video that was made because, again, part of the whole aftermath of this video coming out. Now I want you to watch this video just now, because this one is very telling of the types of people that are coming after your children, as they said in that video. And it's actually really just, again, more disgusting stuff that's being promoted by the left. Well, we know it, not just the left, it's something more sinister involved, but let me just share the screen here, and then I've got the video up here. So, first of all, this was this is of course on my Telegram page. Please follow that if you can. Forwarded from Brittany Sellner. The San Francisco gay chorus recently released a song where they sang "We'll Convert Your Children." We're coming for your children. People did some digging, and apparently several members of the chorus are sex offenders. Let that sink in. And of course, I've got the video up here. We'll just give that a watch.
But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct. We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. We'll convert your children. Someone's gotta teach them not to hate. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children.
Right, so I just paused it just 42 seconds in. As I said before, I couldn't really find the original video, and of course just that part alone is absolutely full to the brim, just creepy. Like, I love how that these people don't look at themselves as like a cult, because seeing that just now, it just comes off as incredibly cult-like. Now we get to the next part here of the list of people who are part of this chorus group. And the next part is very, very worrying. Now, just brace yourselves for this next part.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
Yep, so like I said, let that sink in, folks. If I'll keep up the screen here, so it's still shared with the screen, but yeah. Yeah, so It's really worrying stuff that some members of the choir are actual sex offenders, and the fact that they made this video, knowing the fact that some members are actual sex offenders of minors, that speaks many volumes of the types of people we're dealing with, and all this type of stuff is being thrown at us and trying to make it out as if like, oh, we need to accept this as like the new norm of society. This is just unbelievable. Well done to whoever did their homework. Yeah, it was a very well edited video. That very good stuff with that. I also have let me have a look and see. See, with the start of that video, you saw the first two gay guys that popped up. I had a bit of digging into them as well, again, just to see what they're all about. I have some articles here that they also made like their own play that came out a few years back. Hold on one second. Yeah, it is unbelievable, Julia. I know, it is definitely unbelievable. We definitely need to protect the children as much as humanly possible at this point. Hold on one second. Chief Media, where is that video? Hold on, let me see if I can get that up here again for you. One sec. Because that's another video that was forwarded from Brittany Sellner's Telegram channel. But she forwarded it from Milo as in Milo Yiannopoulos. Now, I know Milo is a very questionable person. We all definitely know that. I certainly don't trust that guy for a millisecond. But if you want, let me see if I can find that video for you real quick. Hold on. Actually, can I do it on on my phone? Hold on, because the website version of Telegram is not really the best ever. But let me just have a look and see if I can find some way to share the free Gammon Sandwich. Hold on. I'm assuming it's Gammon Sandwich that asked for that. Yeah, it's right. That's fine. Sick bastards. Yeah, I know, John Enoch. There's sick people in this world that are trying to. What's even worse about this is they're not even trying to hide it anymore. What made them think that this is going to be great? Wait, is this supposed to be their way of thinking? Well, because of all this progressive stuff that we're throwing down people's throats, maybe we can actually make the video in this way and people will accept it. Well, the backlash certainly told them otherwise. That this video was not well received from everybody. I'm trying to think how I can send this to yourself, Gamma Sound. Hold on. Right. Gammon Sandwich. Hold on. I don't know if you can find that video. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to see if I can find that video here real quick. Yeah, it's from it's from Milo Yiannopoulos, of course. Let me see. Okay. Maybe it's on his YouTube channel. I'm not entirely too sure, but if it's not, you can definitely find it on Telegram, of course. No, I can't really find it there. Okay. Right, forward that. I wonder if I can find. Damn, I don't think I have it here. Sorry, Gammon Sandwich. If you're watching just now, I'll see if I can get that. If I can get that for you at the end of the show. So what I'll do is I'll have a look at that tonight and see if I can pass it to yourself later on, and then we'll see from there. So at the moment I can't exactly find it here, but the only thing I could really say is just go onto my Telegram channel and then see, because the video is on there. If you want to see if you can download it from there, then by all means go. There we go. Oh, hold on. Brittany Summer Telegram, that's enough of a lead, mate. Thanks. Oh, no worries, Gammon. That's no worries. So that should be fine. Perfect. But yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. The fact that they're being so blatantly out of the open with this type of stuff. Guy Fox, hello, how you doing? They like to rub our noses in it, knowing there's very little we can do about it. Yeah, I know. It's almost like they're just gleefully promoting this type of stuff, and they know for a fact that that we can't do anything about it, which is so funny that these are the, well, I know the subject matter is not funny, but funny as in, I find it hilarious that these are the same groups of people that act like they're the victims of society, they're oppressed, they're this and that, blah blah blah, but it's so clear to everyone watching just now that they are the ones with privilege in society. Because if you were to go out in the open and talk about gay people in a constructive way or a destructive way, you'd be thrown in prison for fucking hate speech. So it's very clear that they know what they're doing and they're laughing at us. They are clearly know what they're doing and they're laughing at us anyway. Satan is here now. All the plain to see. Yeah, all plain to see. Yep, definitely. It's very demonic, I would say. Again, they are deluded at the moment. They are still more of us than there is of them. Yeah, with that video they uploaded, you can definitely see that it was very not well received whatsoever. Sam777 is all out in your face. People just can't see it. It's all over Gab. Let me see. It's a power move like Muslims blocking traffic to pray. Yeah, it's clearly like a power grab or power play. Gay marriage was the Trojan horse of all this. I could definitely see that point now, ugly truth. Because, back in the day when I was a teenager, when I was not a leftist, but I was more liberal than I am right now. Of course, more conservative, now like a proper nationalist, or just nationalist in this case. I used to believe that, gay people should have a right to the right to vote, the right to be in a civil partnership and have marriage and all of that. But seeing this kind of stuff today and how it's very in your face about it, I'm now starting to think that maybe it definitely was a Trojan horse for all the stuff going on just now. Because after that, what happened with gay marriage, throughout time, it's become a lot more accepting with a lot of people. And of course, when it comes to Netflix, I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat remembers what happened with the Cuties controversy. And that was like a whole slippery slope of pedophilia now becoming more accepting in our society. Or at least the elite are trying their best to try and make that more accepting within the social norm, if you will, that sort of idea. And at this point, even after this video, it's just only going to get worse from here. They really are pushing it, folks. They really are trying to push it even harder. So, gay marriage is an oxymoron. So with that being said, I had a look into the first gay dudes we saw in the video, just a bit of, maybe to look into that a bit further. And I've came across a couple of articles because, as I said before, they did a play called The Boy Who Danced on Air. I think that's the title of the play or musical. And this came out a few years back, but there was a controversy that happened last year within the Muslim or Islamic community, which I'll get into that just a short second. Let me just see if I can get the other article up so that's up and ready. Because the next one's from the BBC, of course. Copy that, paste that here. I'll even throw in the other. Well, actually, no, maybe not just yet. Take that off. Yep, cool. Right, so share the screen for this part here just now. Gamma Sandwich, have you got a link to Chief's Telegram? I actually had it up here, damn it. Yeah, Gamma Sandwich, if you can, if you could post a link for my Telegram page for the chat just now, because like I said, I'm on my laptop here, and the website version of Telegram is not the best. I think the mobile version is better. So if you could post a link for my Telegram page within the chat just now, just for people to follow my Telegram page, that would be appreciated. Did it, awesome, that's fine. For that's from Bloody Old Fart. Right, so article up here just now. This is from the San Diego Union Tribune. Now, this article is pretty old. This was published on May 15th of 2016. So you may be wondering, well, why exactly are you bringing this article up for today's episode? Because it's talking about, it has two of the main gay dudes who were in that video that they made this play. The play, as I mentioned before, is called The Boy Who Danced on Air. This is important to talk about because it does tie into the next article and it does tie into the video we just watched. So, let me see here, the top one. Boy, compelling musical on repellent tradition. Diversionary world premiere thoughtfully explores Afghan tradition of boy sex slaves. This is going to be really horrible. I know that. Some vehicle stories cry out to be musicalized, but the sexual slavery of dancing boys in Afghanistan isn't one that pops to mind. Yet, The Boy Who Danced on Air, which made its world premiere Saturday at Diversionary Theatre, which makes a compelling case. Now, again, this was back in 2016, but there is an article as a follow-up to this that came out last year. It definitely ties into this overall segment of the live stream we're talking about just now. Co-written by Tim Rosser and Charlie Song, I think I pronounced that. The musical touchingly, thoughtfully, and surprisingly explores this ugly, centuries-old Afghan tradition. So basically, once again, they're romanticizing pedophilia with this whole overall play that they made. Again, it's just really sick stuff. So this is details about where exactly it was going to be placed. And of course, the script and characters still need structural work, and a few songs could be fine-tuned, but it's a solid, subtle, and sad and often inspiring work that's smartly staged by director Tony Special. I love how that the last name almost comes off as special, but that's beside the point. With the first-rate cast, the musical was inspired by a 2010 PBS documentary on the recent revived Afghan practice of Baka Bazi, or boy play. That's in Afghanistan, so no surprise there. Where wealthy warlords and merchants buy boys as young as 10 from poor families. Dressed in women's clothing, the boys dance for men and are often passed around for sex. Jesus Christ. US soldiers stationed in Afghanistan were allegedly told to turn a blind eye to the practice, but just last month a Green Beret was exonerated for striking a child rapist who kept the boy chained to his bed in 2011. So the Green Beret who pretty much saw this horrible thing that was going on to this boy and decided to strike the rapist. You know, the guy that obviously had very good morals, and obviously the fact that he was trialed for doing this to this Afghani rapist to this little boy, you know, again it goes to show just how backwards our society really is. Although this is not in Britain, but this is in America. But again, this is stuff that's happening all across the Western Front. And again, it's just something that's getting far worse. And this was all back in 2011 and 5 years later, 2016. So, the musical tells two stories. That of Paiman, a dancing boy who falls in love with a fellow dancer and dreams of escape. And his master, Jahandar, who justifies his increasingly brutal behaviour by saying the tradition is immoral, secret way to satisfy men's needs while protecting Afghan women for marriage. I also just want to point out real quick, folks, if these people are coming into Britain and of course in America and other European country, and again, these are the types of people that the establishment wants us to coincide with, right? The same people who have these types of traditions, right? Really makes you think, doesn't it? The two actors who play these roles are excellent. As Paiman, Troy Iwata is conflicted and vulnerable, with a powerful, pure voice, especially in the beautiful songs Little Dance and All That I've Known, and evocative dance skills. And Jonathan Reviv, I think I pronounce it, finds layer, foreign of course, finds layer after layer in Jahandar, who dreams of rebuilding his shattered country while simultaneously destroying his youth. The two stories could be separated musicals. They don't yet mesh together well as one. Paiman's story is complete and natural, delivered through drama, song, and dance, but Jahandar's tale is stiffly and incompletely told through a series of brief card games with a crude, wisecracking friend. Reviv is a gifted vocal interpreter, and his songs, Cabal and Play Your Part, are well written, but his complex character is confusing. Jahandar's plot is to illuminate a power plant makes a power plant which makes little sense, and his alternatively kind / sociopathic behavior towards piemen could use more development. So basically this is all just like a review of the play itself and how it's completely romanticizing this whole horrible, depraved tradition, Afghani tradition that's happening in Afghanistan, of course. So that was that. Then, of course, I found this other article by the BBC that's all about the game Same Play. That's happening, again, published in 2020, in August 11th to be exact. Bacha Bazi, outraged after pandemic takes play to the small screen. When it comes to the theatre and filmmaking in the West, portrayals of Afghanistan often don't go beyond women in blue burqas and men carrying AK-47s. But in 2017, two Americans attempted something unconventional. Lyricist Charlie Song and composer Tim Rosser created a musical about a subject even Afghans would consider too sensitive and unsettling. Baka Bazi, or boy play. Yeah, it's probably because it actually showcases the reality of the Afghanistan and their traditions, and also the fact that these two people here, Tim Rosser and Charlie Song, are trying to romanticize that, of course. Baka Bazi is a practice where I mentioned that already. The boy who danced on air told a love story between two 16-year-old boys with that. The musical mostly made a good impression on the theatre critics. It was called courageous, thoughtful, and beautiful. Of course, we call it that. One review in the New York Times called the subject matter troubling and said Song and Rosser had taken the challenge of difficult source material too far. Fast forward to 2020, after the coronavirus pandemic forced theatres to close, and The Boy Who Danced on Air joined many other productions online streaming services instead. But unexpectedly, the move provoked a wave of outrage and criticism from Afghans living around the world who, learning of the musical for the first time, accused it of romanticizing child sexual abuse and child rape. Madina Wardak, an Afghan clinical social worker based in the US, says she watched 40 minutes of the musical and had to turn it off. I felt uncomfortable, and this is a quote from her, I felt uncomfortable, misunderstood, frantic, and anxious all at the same time. I cringed every time the actress tried to be believable, and every time the audience had a laugh at the expense of real Afghan pain. End quote. The show has also forced criticism for promoting Bakabazi as a tradition that is accepted in Afghanistan. Bakabazi is a harmful practice that should not in any way be romanticized, said the Afghan actress and founder of Mina Arts, Azita Ghanizada, again foreign, to have another piece of art focus on Afghanistan completely through the white lens. Shook up our community. Fuck off, white lens. As the criticism spread on social media, Troy Iwata, the Japanese-American actor who plays Pieman in the musical, posted an apology on his Instagram account. A while ago, I did a show where I played someone of Afghan descent, which I am not, he said. The show romanticized sexual assault and misconstructed an entire culture of its people. I am so sorry. Despite Bakabazi being illegal under Afghan law, authorities are unable to end the practice because many of those involved are influential men. Of course, to these men, keeping a Baka Berish, or boy without bread, or boy without beer, is a sign of power and high social status. In the 1990s, Bakabazi was outlawed by the Taliban, with sodomy, dancing, and music carrying the death penalty. Although the militant group have been accused of participating in the practice themselves, the lack of Afghans or their input of the production of The Boy Who Danced on Air was another reason the musical came under fire. Of course, because not enough, diversity or any what's the term they use where it's like, oh well, we need to have a black person as his black role. Representation. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, more representation. Ms. Ghanizada said, had Charlie and Tim centered Afghan voices during the process, they would have been more cautious and thoughtful. Perhaps they would have even known that it wasn't their story to turn into a musical, but alas, Afghanistan was just a tool in their story. the fact that still people would still defend Afghanistan, especially their practices, is just absolutely shocking here. Let me just have a quick look here. I think we're almost done with this article anyway. The writers poured gasoline and lit a match of many of the wounds we are working hard to heal. The Afghan LGBTQ community in particular has expressed discontent with the Orientalist nature of the story, and many have said the show harmed sexual assault survivors. So yeah, there was a controversy of this particular play, and like I said, this play was made by the same two people who made that San Francisco gay chorus video that we just watched. Well, a different version of that, of course. So now that may be the end of that story here, but I also want to add on another story that does tie into this as well, because I think it does go into play of the blatant idea of this being forced down in our throat, and of course they know we can't do anything about this. Is this still sharing? Yeah, it's still sharing. That's fine. Perfect. Council faces backlash over vile claim LGBT plus groups want to lower age of consent to 10. Now, I don't know if I may have talked about this already. I might have done, or maybe not, or maybe I was going to talk about it in a previous episode, but didn't get a chance to. But I'm not going to read this article because it's basically just a whole these groups are being smeared and they want to lower the age of consent to 10 years old. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if something like this were to happen, that they want to lower the age of consent to 10 years old, especially after this video that came out, that they want to indoctrinate our children to be more progressive and more tolerant. Meanwhile, some members within this chorus group are actual sex offenders or registered sex offenders, so you can definitely see that stuff like this is definitely being pushed in our faces. And of course, they know for a fact that we cannot do a single thing about it. Again, just really disgusting stuff. Let me see. So that's that talked about here. Again, just I know it's really disgusting stuff to talk about with that, but it's a fact of reality of what we're facing today here. Fun as haram. Our ancestors would be ashamed of what this country has become. No, they would be. They would be spinning in their graves right now of all the stuff that what we're seeing today. White this, white that, always negative. Yep, it's always negative. I know. It's again part of the whole anti-white agenda. The UK needs to purge itself of all this evil. Tolerance has got us here. Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that got us in this mess in the first place. Oh, damn, I see my mouse. Hold on. Where was a comment I was going to read? Let me see. Oh, here we go, from Ugly Truth. A musical about child rape. Sick. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And like I said, made by the same people who are part of that San Francisco gay choir, or I think they participated in making that video. So I'm sure everyone will be connecting the dots there, of course. So Afghanistan was relevant for the Khyber Pass, I think I pronounced that, back in the day. Nowadays we have aircraft. Translation: thoughtful and beautiful equals degenerate. Yeah, exactly. Protect the children at all costs, and anyone who stands against them in the name of these nonsense, then treat them equally guilty and accountable. Exactly, Scott Sarmer. Yeah. If you ever come across someone who unironically would support this type of gay agenda and trying to indoctrinate our children, and then when they get told some of the members are actually sex offenders, and the people defending this would still support it because it's meant to be progressive, then yes, treat them as if like they would be accountable and guilty because they support that kind of stuff. Yes, absolutely. Do not have any tolerance for that for those people. No tolerance whatsoever. Brits stop widow burning in India, so why not this? Yeah. Sense of communion. Thank you for watching the stream. Not only should there be no more brother wars, there should be no more pointless wars and shitholes that don't even concern us. Let the fuckers fight it out themselves. Fuck them. Yeah, I agree. We should never went to the Middle East to begin with, especially in Iraq. That was a major mistake on our part. But hey, as part of the what the establishment wants. You know, the small hat types, if you will. Nonsense all over it. It's shock horror. Yep, they're all coming out of the woodwork. I'll definitely say that they're all coming out of the woodwork at this point. Let me see. Annie, the orphan based on a rich tribe member looking for a young girl to groom. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's incredibly dark. British military guys heard the boy's screams in Afghanistan and was stopped before he could put a stop to it by his superior, saying that is just their way. Then the superior needs to go and fuck themselves. Like, oh, well, see, that goes back to what I was saying earlier on. Like, all these lefties, SJWs, feminists, and all of that would never want to criticize any of these countries because that's just part of their culture. That's just the way things are in this country. You know, all that stuff. But they'd be very happy to criticize our countries, of course, because it's way easier. You know, bollocks to that. It's pissing down. Let's see. Vice did the documentary about the weird Afghan stuff that article mentioned. I think they might have done a document. I don't know if I might have seen that documentary, but I remember seeing a thumbnail and the title about that. But let me see here. Jacqueline, what? Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. LGBTQT. Guy Fox, I have a question. Why does everyone of black/white mixed race ethnicity only identify with their black half? They always completely ignore the white half. Well, there's a good answer to that, Guy Fox. It's because we live in a society where if you're black, you are the victim. You are someone who needs to be should be treated as godlike. You know, oh, you and your people went through hardships like slavery and all of that, and you know who you should put the blame on in our society? It's the white man. It's like the white people are the people you should blame for any wrongs that happen to you in your society. You know, you should be the victim. So all the people who are mixed race, either half white, half black, but would rather identify as their black selves, it's because it's a way for them to be the victim. That's why they do that. It's a way for them to become the victim. So, I just realized English sale LGBTQ barbecue tea. I just realized that. Desmond is disturbing. Oh, don't get me started on that whole case ugly truth. That's really disturbing. That whole stuff. Various superpowers have tried to occupy and control Afghanistan. All of them have failed, and for what it's worth, it's a desert shithole with zero redeeming factors. Exactly. Which is why we should definitely stay out of that as humanly possible. We should never went there to begin with. Oh, of course in Iraq, of course, in this case. So, and I think the whole point we went to Afghanistan was to stop Osama bin Laden, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he's dead now, so what's even the point of even staying there? So, it's about time we step out of that as humanly possible. Definitely should not be there anymore. Daddy at Warbucks or Warburg. They're all coming out because they now think it's safe enough to be open and about being a sick pedo. Yeah, definitely. Rambling Rattlesnake, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Chief Moody, howdy. I recently subscribed to the channel Hyperborean Reflections. He is based. I recommend it. Well, if that's the case, let me just see if I can find that channel real quick on my phone. So, Hyperborean Reflections. Let me see. Don't know if I'm subscribed to it already, but I'll just have a double check and see from there. If I haven't, I'll just subscribe to the channel just now, and then I'll give it a watch after it's all done and see from there. I found it, yeah, so I'll just subscribe to that. Cool. So I'll just subscribe to that channel, Rambling Rattlesnake. Thank you very much for showing that channel out for me. That's really good. And I'll give it a watch later on this fine evening. Ugly Truth. The jogger gene is dominant at half-breeds. Yep. What Tyler 1381, a SGT friend of mine says, Afghan army either high on H, I'm assuming it's heroin, or off having sex with kids, useless. Yeah, it's just disgusting stuff. No morals when it comes to those types of countries whatsoever. No more wars for Israel and the bankers. Exactly. Afghanistan has $1 trillion worth of minerals that the US wanted, but it looks like China are going to harvest it. Yeah. So you can imagine there may be some kind of not confrontation, but some kind of not like an all-out war, but some type of confrontation between the two nations of wanting these type of resources. It used to be the other way around. A lick of the tar brush was seen as a disability in Western civilization. Iraq was about good oil and artifacts. Our men and women died over small hat greed. Exactly. I agreed no more wars at our expense. Yeah, definitely get out of there as soon as humanly possible. Jacqueline, hey Chief, did you check out Unity News Network on DLive? I have, yes. I think I'm still subscribed to that channel on DLive as well. I think it's a pretty decent channel from what I've seen back in the, well, I'll not say back in the day, but maybe like a year ago. Because I remember I started watching that live stream channel. I think it was last year. I think it was towards the end of the summer, like August or September, or somewhere like that. Because other people I think Jody K mentioned about that channel before. It might be other people on our side. I think it was Charlie Big Potatoes or I can't exactly remember. Natty, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong with those people mentioning it, but I had to look into that, and I think that live stream was talking about demographic changes within the UK, and of course the idea of ethno-nationalism being brought up. So I had to check on that, and at least to give the guy credit with Unity News Network, at least he allowed people like us to go on the live stream and actually giving us a chance to have our voices be heard with that. So they were on YouTube but got cancelled. I remember that happening. Yeah. They were deplatformed off of YouTube, but you can still watch them on DLive. I remember having that, of course, or that happening at the time. Feckin' buffering. Hopefully the stream doesn't go down or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's still going on at the moment, so that should be fine. Pedos hide behind the same maps now. It stands for, minor attracted persons. Yeah, I remember people talking about that. Not just even people on our side, but mainly people who don't delve into politics necessarily, but I think another channel talked about this before. Some Ordinary Gamer or Mudahar, he covered this as well about the maps on Twitter, or minor attracted persons. You can easily spot them on Twitter, and yeah, these people are just absolutely disgusting. Like, these are like, oh, well, we're maps. We're people who are attracted to minors, or minor younger people, or minors in this case, but we don't want to have or engage in any sexual activities with them. We just want to fantasize about it. There's all of this really disgusting stuff that's being pushed down our throats, like just over time at this point now. And as I said before, it's just getting way worse and way more out of the open. Our governments are supposed to guard our lands, but they don't. They obviously work for someone else. I think we all know who that other group of people may be. We all know that to be exact. Let me just have a quick drink of my water, and then I'll get on to the third and final topic. So, let me see here. Sonia Paulton did a documentary about MAP. Jacqueline, can you remember the name of that documentary? Because that would be something I want to have a check out later on, and maybe give it a watch from there. So, because I remember seeing, I think there might have been different topics, of course, but there's been other documentaries in the past that came out that not exposed, but talked about this type of subject matter anyway, and it's again really hair-raising stuff, of course. Hold on a sec. Right, just approaching 7:30. Okay, I don't think this next topic will be any long, but let me just share this screen again. But keep it on this screen just now for the time being. Let me see here. Hopefully the stream is still doing good. Gay Twaddle Tube will not let my unfed post in the comments go through. Just think about that. Yeah, that's from Mike Honk. No, fair enough. I mean, it is YouTube at the end of the day. You know, they're completely biased, of course, and it was on her YouTube channel. I'll see if it's still there and get back to you. No worries, Jacqueline. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Because that's something I'll definitely have a check out later on as well, if I can. So, right, let me see here. I'll definitely see if I can get to the next part. I also just want to make sure if it's still not buffering or anything like that at all, because hopefully my stream does not go down or anything like that at all. So let me just have a quick check and see any updates with the stream itself in terms of still 987 subs. That's still fine. The likes are up to 48 likes on the stream just now, so that's still good. So we're definitely getting there. We're getting there, folks. So just keep hitting the like button if you haven't done so already. But that'll be great. So, let me see here. What I will do is not buffering here. That's good, Gamma Sandwich. Appreciate the feedback there. That's good. So that's all. That's fine. Excellent. What I will do is, folks, is I'm just gonna take a short 5-minute break, just so I can get like another drink of water or anything like that. Just think of it as like, well, not think of it, but it's basically just a small smoke break kind of thing. I've been doing it for about an hour and a half almost. So 4/9 light. That's good. We need a few answers. A way forward. Yep, I agree with that, Woodlander. We definitely need that. A few answers and a way forward. What to do is, folks, I'm just going to take a short 5-minute smoke break, and then I'll come back with the third and final topic. Something that actually ties into what we talked about earlier on in terms of football, and also something I've seen earlier on. What I'll do is, let me see if I can find the video for you guys to watch for the time being. Or being, I should say. Let me see, is it shared? No, it's not shared, that's fine. Oh, just notifications on my channel with new subscribers, that's fine. In fact, no, maybe... What video to showcase? Maybe I'll try Odyssey for once, actually. And I wonder if I'm still logged on to Odyssey. Let's see a minute. Oh, there we go. Right, one sec. That's the website for it. Okay. I just muted myself by accident. Sorry about that. Let me see. Thanks, Vodka Time. Oh, yippee. I'll go for a quick rolly too. That's awesome, Sensum. Let me see. So I'm logged on into Odyssey, but that's perfect. So just want to play a video again just for 5 minutes, and then I'll come back with the last topic to talk about. Let me see here. How about if I put on a Jolly Heretic video just for the time being? I hope he doesn't mind. That is if he, I highly doubt he'll watch my content, but I'll just play a bit of his video for the time being. Put that on play. Okay, so then... Oh, I'll also see if I can put myself on mute, and then I'll come back. Again, just a 5-minute smoke break, and I'll come back after the 5 minutes. So bear with me just now. I'll play... Jolly Heretic or Professor Edward Dutton video for 5 minutes, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible with the last topic. So bear with me just now. And hello, Robert Jones. Thank you for watching the stream. hello. I'll be back with you guys in just a short moment. Be right back.
Yeah, the thing is, Johnny, mate, I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to upset you. I wasn't having a go at you or your wife or your daughter in what I wrote in this peer-reviewed article. I was just reporting reporting the data. I was just reporting the truth and interpreting it in the most parsimonious way. Yeah, I understand that it may have it may have hurt your feelings, but I mean, you're an academic as well, right? You're feeling, you know that feelings are the enemy of scholarship, and that surely we're here to get to the truth, and that data is telling you that is the most likely explanation for what's going on. So if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry about that, but. Right, I understand that you. I can see why perhaps you might have found it difficult. Why it might have upset you, but it's not. I'm just trying to explain to you. Right, okay, and now you've unfriended me on Facebook. And right, okay, and now and I've written to you and said I'm sorry if I've offended you, but you don't respond. Right. Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Jolly Heretic. Now, today I would like to talk once more about the fact about the evidence that the West is extraordinarily polarized, and there are some people that have interpreted this as have interpreted what's going on at the moment as meaning that, particularly an article by Ed West called "The West's Cultural Revolution is Over," that somehow the West's culture, you know, that we have reached the end of our cultural revolution, and this is the new normal. We have returned to the days of 1966, when there were extreme taboos, when there were things you just couldn't say, when there were blasphemy laws, and so on, and that this is the normal element of history, and that the period between the 60s and 2020 has been the abnormal period in history. And I want to argue against that. I want to argue that no, we are if anything going through the collapse of a previous cultural revolution rather than the cementing of a cultural revolution. Now, I was inspired to do this by a very interesting article that was in the Sun, actually, it really looks at it alludes to some research. The most woke generation, young adults, are the most intolerant generation yet, with half of them having ended a friendship in the woke wars. And this related to some research recently published by the Centre for Policy Studies, where it looks at just how divided the West is. Now, normally, when the Cultural Revolution is over, when it's finally over, you are not divided. You are united. Everybody agrees on certain things, or the vast majority of people accept certain things, accept certain ideas, accept certain taboos, and so therefore the Cultural Revolution, in that sense, is over. And this is not consistent. The evidence with this at all. What we have is extreme polarization, and that is consistent with potentially going through some kind of cultural revolution, with potentially the breakdown of an earlier society. That's what it's consistent with. Now, what he notes is that we're not as divided as America, but nevertheless, only 20% feel that the country is invested in them. So there's great demoralization with those that are in positions of power. And that's generally a sign that you're going through a cultural revolution rather than the end of it, that people are fed up. 70% believe that all politicians are in it for themselves, according to this. According to this, it was that they interviewed 3,000 people in June as part of a project called Britain Speaks on British politics. The key word that they felt when they heard the word politician was disappointment. That was 40%, so just under half. 51% of people that vote Labour feel that the entire economic system is stacked against them. So there's a strong sense that people that vote Labour are sort of angry, unhappy people, compared to only 25% of people that vote Conservative that feel that the economic system is stacked against them. Another interesting divide, it's approximately the same number. 37% feel that the most salient, problematic issue of our times is racism, while 25%, so only 10% less really, feel that it is wokeism. So you have a clear divide there of approximately similar numbers saying that the racism is the key problem in society, and the other 25% really saying that kind of anti-racism in its politicized, over-the-top form is the key problem in our society. Similarly, you have a divide with regard to cancel culture that's similarly stark. 29% say that cancel culture is a bad thing. 26% say that it's basically a good thing. So again, a similar divide, a quarter saying it's good, a quarter saying it's bad. 29% say they have stopped being friends with somebody, and 22% say they haven't stopped being friends with them, but they've stopped talking to them. So kind of effectively, they've stopped being good friends with them, based on something political that person has said. And 45% believe that white privilege exists, as against the rest of society that don't believe it exists. Now, what this betokens is a very, very extreme form of polarization that society has completely come apart. Now, that is not something that you get in a period where everything is accepted and where there is a clear culture, like perhaps there was in the early 60s, where there are clear cultural taboos and everybody knows the rules and everybody just agrees on things and everyone's united around a clear culture, as you might have got under certain periods of Soviet communism, or as you got with the sort of conservative religious culture up into the 60s. I don't see how that betokens that at all. Interestingly, a book by Ezra Klein called "Why We Are Polarized." This looks at the growth in polarization in America, and what it shows is that you have basically a period in the 50s where society is united, where there are very few differences between the Democrats and the Republicans, where the Democrats in Congress and whatever happily work with the Republicans. There's no problem working together. Where the Democrats, who are the Northern Democrats, who are of course left wing, are reliant on the Southern Democrats to get through their socialist policies, and so they tolerate the Jim Crow laws and whatever in the southern states, and where basically they're all cozying up and they're all friends, and where in parts of the South 95% of elected offices were held by the Democrats. That's how unpolarized things were. Now then you get a period of polarization, of course, as this breaks down in the 60s, and by the 1990s there seems to be a new system, a new way of doing things, a new establishment, a new system of taboos, if you like, really, where racism is bad. I mean, that was the particular thing, and a number of other sort of taboos. And then once again, there isn't clear blue water between the Democrats and the Republicans. They cozy up, they cooperate together. There isn't a big divide between them anymore. And it seems to me that you had something quite similar in Britain. There was a period in the 1970s when the Labour Party were socialist, where the Conservative Party were capitalist, essentially, and there was a divide between them. They were very, very different. As you move forward in time to the 1980s, gradually the Labour Party reforms, gradually the Conservative Party takes on more of the kind of social, anti-racism, anti-sexism, anti-homophobia policies that Labour have sort of pushed for, and you get a period in the 1990s and the 2000s where there really isn't much difference at all between the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. And this difference has developed more recently, in particular since 2010 or whatever, where there are very substantial differences between them, and where the Labour Party has become an extremely left-wing, extremely pro-woke, and even to some extent anti-capitalist, once again, political party, particularly under the leadership of Jeremy Corbyn. And the Conservative Party, although it has ceded ground, as Conservatives generally do, because as we've discussed before, Conservatives sympathise with left-wing people in terms of harm avoidance and in terms of a desire for equality, whereas the left do not sympathise with the conservative values of sanctity, of obedience to authority, and obedience to tradition, and so on. So therefore, they will always cede ground to them. But and it was the Conservatives that brought in gay marriage and whatever in the UK. But even so, there is now a clear difference opening up, and you can see this in the different profile of those that vote Labour versus those that vote Conservative. Those that vote Conservative are broadly satisfied with society and see it as fair, with only 25% essentially seeing it as unfair and something stacked against them, whereas over half of Labour voters see society as a thoroughly unfair place, where everything is stacked against them and their interests. So I would see that period prior to that is a period in which there was a clear society. Okay, it wasn't as strict as the 60s or whatever, but in which there were certain taboos, and everyone just knew what they were, and certain issues such as immigration. Nobody questioned this. In the 1990s, you didn't talk about immigration, you didn't discuss it, you didn't criticize it. It was a taboo issue. Now that taboo has been broken. Now, what Ed West argues in his very interesting article in Unheard, The West's Cultural Revolution is Over, is that in the 60s, in 1966,
And here we go, back again. Sorry about that, folks. It's a bit longer than expected. That damn white man. Let me see. Let me just bring the mic closer just a wee bit. There we go. Right, I'll get back onto the screen here. Sorry that was a bit longer than expected. What happened was my cat was out the back garden, was looking to be fed. So I had to, of course, make him some like cat food and pour it in his bowl. So my apologies if I was a bit late, but I'm back now. So let's have a look here and see what's going on when I was away. RT Music Production, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. I think that's about it there. So, Unity News Network is live right now. I'm watching it on my phone. I'm watching you on the telly. Well, fair enough, Jacqueline. I appreciate that. So that's good. The media is now the alpha male for these young women. Sad. Yeah, it's definitely a sad reality there. Let me see here. Oh, Galileo's Tongue. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Really appreciate you being here. Hightower 005. Thank you for watching the stream. Almost except most people are sheep. The worse it gets, the more likely a leader will arrive. Yeah, I agree with that. We need to pull the overturned window back to the right. The way to do this is when a point/argument is countered with name calling, simply respond. You call me that because you can't call me a liar. Yeah, exactly. I think that's something that we definitely need to do when it comes to these arguments. Right. So what I'm going to do is it's just now. Just after 20 to 8, I will finish the stream off with the third and final topic I'll be discussing tonight. So, as I said before, it's something that we did talk about briefly during the stream, which is all about football. Let me see if I can get the link for the video. Now, this video was uploaded onto... it's from Bonnie Lad's channel, which I first discovered this video on his Telegram. Another familiar face, Richard the Lionheart. Hello, how you doing? What happens when a leader arrives? Who and what is the leading? Yeah, that's a good question. But thank you for being here, Richard the Lionheart. Really appreciate you being here. Let me see here. So, post that. This could be... Is it the same? Yeah, let's see here. So, I'll just share the screen. Now, it's only 2 minutes and 16 seconds long. Oops. I won't play that just yet. And then I found a photograph that definitely ties into this video as well. Now, I'm pretty sure you all may have seen this video already, whether it's on Bonnie Lad's channel or on his Telegram channel. Yeah, Josh, I should say with Richard Lionheart. How you doing? It's a pleasure to be in great company. It's good for you to be here, Josh. Thank you very much. Yeah, propaganda at its best. So, let me just go ahead, click this here, and then... is this video. Let's go back home. More It's Coming Home. Muslim women back. Diverse England team ahead of final. Let me just go ahead and share the screen here.
Just before the pandemic, we were the first group of Muslim women to act as flag bearers during a game in Aston Villa football ground. It was a proud moment for us, an important step in fighting racism in sport. Our boys, Tyrone Mings and Jack Grealish, are now representing England in the final and have also been taking the knee. We couldn't be more proud of them all.
Over 2/3 of the current England squad is made up of players with migrant background. This is important.
Whoa, wait, what's her last name? Wait a minute.
The current England squad is made up of players.
Begum. No comment to that. No comment at the moment.
Migrant background. This is important to who we are as a nation. Immigration and diversity is good for this country.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm sure diversity works great within the UK. I'm sure people like the victims of the grooming gang, the Muslim grooming gangs would agree to that. I'm pretty sure people like Chris Donald would agree to that. All these people who've been affected horribly by diversity, I'm pretty sure they would agree to that. Oh, I'm sorry, they can't really say for certain because either they're horribly traumatized and they can't really say anything about it because, again, as I said, they're traumatized, or legally speaking, they can't say anything about it, or because they're dead. But hey, I'm pretty sure diversity has worked wonders within the UK. I'm pretty sure it has worked tremendously for us, right? Get out of here.
It's nice to be able to come together as a community again. The pandemic has affected the health of people from Black and Asian communities more than the rest of the population. I currently run a walking and cycling class for the group, and sport has been vital in getting our women active again. Watching England do so well in the Euros is inspiring everyone to do so more.
Football is for everyone and should be accessible by all, regardless of age, gender and background. We're working with Aston Villa to stamp out racism, and our team players have been doing a sterling job. We're working with Aston Villa to stamp out racism, and our team players have...
Begum, again. Again, no further comment to that. I just think it's kind of interesting how two people, a part of this volunteer group, our last name are Begum. I just want to point that out real quick.
Have been doing a sterling job representing England in the Euros.
I'm English and Italian, and I have been living here more than 4 years. Me and my children have always felt more welcoming over here. So we are supporting England as a multicultural team, more representative of us as a country.
Come on, England! The England's team solidarity with Black Lives Matter and standing against racism has direct impact on fans, especially those from minority communities. Coming home, it's coming home. It's inspiring to see such unity. We need less of go back home and more is coming home.
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here. But that was a video from Bonnie Lad. I thought, yeah, I gave it a like, that's good. So if you haven't seen it already, give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed to him already, subscribe to Bonnie Lad. But just watching that video real quick, I'm just thinking, this is such bullshit. Like, this just reeks, not really of desperation, but this just reeks of pure propaganda. Like, it clearly shows that it's made with the intent of telling the indigenous people of Britain, hey, we're here, we're taking over whether you like it or not. And it's just absolutely sickening what we're seeing with that. If I want to get back onto here real quick, Galileo's tongue, go hand it to her, she can read English well. Yeah, I'll give her that, yeah. Amanda Lee, this is why as a white family we are not watching the England team and go home. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that last sentence, we need less of go home and more of it's coming home. Shut up. Just shut the hell up with that. James Andrew Morrison, English and Italian. I bet she wasn't born in Italy. Well, no, I highly doubt she's a pasta eater or a spaghetti eater, you know, like, you know, that sort of thing. These Crusader cross waivers are really butch. It's just, it's so frustrating with these people. I even have a photograph here. If I can actually, can I share that one real quick when I'm at? Got up here just now. Yeah, but that's the one. So from Rima, again, this tweet ties into the video from Bonnie Lad we just watched just now. So this tweet reads, never thought I'd wear the shirt, but from standing for racial equality to feeding school kids, this squad have made clear that they represent me, a capital M-E, me. For anyone who ever used these lions to scare us, take a good look. This is England, and if you don't like it, you go home. Unbelievable. Again, you could just see the sheer audacity with these people. We're clearly seeing the whole multiculturalism and diversity quotas rammed down through football, And now this is them basically confirming that, yeah, this is our sport now. This is our team now. You better like it. It's just the sheer audacity of these people is absolutely astounding to me. Unbelievable. Says Camino. Chicken tikka linguine. Okay, sense. From Woodlander, go home. Home, I am fucking home. Yep. That last sentence there. Yeah, like, if you don't like it, then you go home. It's like, bitch, we're already home. This is our homeland that you're taking over. If anything, the people who should go home if they don't like the way things are, they're the ones that need to go home. I've said, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's absolutely true. The sheer audacity astounds me with these people. I hear they were booing and throwing bottles at Farage when he turned up at Wembley. Oh, of course they would do something like that, because apparently he's alt-right, which he's clearly not. Their arrogance. Use their arrogance. Let it feed you. Let it inspire you to prove them wrong. Exactly. Total agree. We are home. Yep. Infiltrate, indoctrinate, then destroy, just like they have with comics and movies. Yeah, with our own entertainment media, it's getting worse. Takes a lot of practice to get to that level of smug face. Yep, a lot of practice. I never thought the English would have to cheat to win. That's what proper teams think. But you see what I mean? I don't know if that match has started at the moment, or maybe it's just about to start, but I would highly advise just don't watch it. It really is not worth it. Whether you're supporting England, which I don't know at this point why you would do that, because they're not really an English team anymore, but I wouldn't even support Italy either. I mean, the fact that they're also taking the knee with England during this game. Now, I don't know whether or not they're doing it because they're playing it in Wembley, or maybe it's for political reasons. But either way or anything like that, just don't. I mean, Ellie Bree, hello and welcome to the chat. I pray Italy win. I mean, I hope Italy wins, but I'm still not really going to support them because they're going to take the knee for stand against racism or Black Lives Matter or whatever cringy shit they're claiming to support. It's a wonder they all gravitate to jogger ball with their skills. You have thought they were shoo-ins for the Olympics fencing team. It's just blatantly absurd at this point. If they're taking the knee, then both teams have already lost. Yeah. You're right, Galileo's time. They've pretty much already lost. Let's see. Don't represent me. Viva Italia. Did the Lions play this weekend? I think they're going to be playing today. I think today is the final, if I'm not mistaken. I support neither team. England, not English, but can't bring myself to support anyone else. That's totally fair, Gammon. It doesn't matter who wins, because the winner in the end is diversity. This will either push for more BAMEs or be in the name of BAMEs. Yeah, exactly. It's just a sad reality of that, isn't it? Where we have these like rugby. I'm not entirely too sure. Celtic Britain. I'm not entirely too sure rugby if the Lions will be playing this weekend. Not really a rugby fan myself, to be honest, so I can't really quite tell. But as I said, there is a sad reality that all these like BAME types, like the non-whites, are coming into these teams and claiming to be English. Like, it's just the sheer audacity of these people. They should ask themselves this: are you my queen? Are you my god? No, guess I won't be taking a knee then. Now fuck off. Exactly. Roscoe, they are also trying to find joggers to play for Scotland. Of course they would be. Because the Scotland team is too white. It's so white that Hamza Youssef would look at that and think the Scotland football team white, that sort of thing. So yeah, of course they're going to try their best to find some joggers to be part of the Scotland football team. Of course they would try and do that. Have they got their rainbow coloured laces to represent the GBLT ZTF community? You know, I don't think they have, but I wouldn't be surprised, Amanda Lee, if they would have that coloured laces. They support, you know, the gay agenda. Sharing the info is winning. Yep. I will not be watching it. Never have, never will. Watching 22 grown men run around a field kicking a ball is like deleting one's IQ one kick at a time. I'd rather Italy because if England wins, it's endless propaganda about the benefits of diversity. Well, I think Scott's Armour made a point about that earlier on. It doesn't matter who wins, diversity is still wins regardless. But I can see, Ellie, where you're coming from with that point, definitely. Keep exposing them. Yeah, that's all we need to do. Just keep exposing the BS, and definitely people will see through the BS at this point. Wow, that's 5-8. So I think, folks, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm just going to play the outro for the stream. This is going to come to the end of episode 11 of Mood of the Nation podcast. For those who've been watching up until this point, thank you all very much. So for those who haven't watched the stream, maybe they might once the stream is fully uploaded onto the channel. But other than that, I really do appreciate you guys coming along tonight and watching the stream. Hopefully, I'll reach 1,000 subs before episode 12 this Thursday coming. I'm not entirely too sure, but here's hoping. But yeah, hopefully we'll see what's going to be happening with episode 12 for Thursday. Because it's going to be 6 p.m. as per usual. I'm pretty sure you all know that already with Patriarchal Alternative, sharing the links and whatnot. So they are booing Italy. Oof. Do we know if there are any groups going on against Fanboy YT channels to stick the odd Kalergi FC super chat in? I am not entirely too sure, but that would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. So, hold on 1 second here. Woodlander, nice stream, mate. Thank you very much, Woodlander. I really appreciate you being here. And from Josh, great stream. Thank you very much, Josh. If you don't mind me calling you that, instead of Richard the Lionheart, but I really appreciate you being here. Of course, it's awesome of you for that. Have a great week, guys. Catch up with you. Same to you, RT Music Productions. I really appreciate you being here. Galileo's tongue. In theory, Italy should have a better understanding of the Alberti spaghetti rainbow color flags. Yeah, you think they would, but you know, never would, of course. Later to you too, Woodlander. Take care. Thanks for a great stream. Take care all until next time. Same to yourself, Amanda. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. Good night to you too, Julia. Thank you very much. Sub, share, and like. Definitely do that, folks. I really appreciate that. Thank you, John Enoch Powell, MBE, for tuning in. Robert Jones. Cheers, Chief and chat. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Robert. I really appreciate that. Great stream, Chief. Thank you again, Julia. Gamma Sandwich, thank you for being here. Tyler, 1381, great stream, great chat, stay strong, 14, same to yourself, good sir. Yeah, call me Josh, it's cool. No worries, Josh, again, thank you very much, I appreciate that. Cheers for the stream, dude, have a good evening, everyone. You too, Phil, you take care. Glad I caught the end at least. Night to you too, Galileo's Town, really appreciate that. Yes, yeah. As I mentioned, definitely check out Scott's Armour stream at 9:30. Let me just quickly see if I can get the link for that stream. And like I said, with his stream, it's going to be himself, Resisting the Lies, and no chance he'll be appearing in tonight's stream at 9:30. I'll just get the link for his stream. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Scott's Armour and get yourself notified when that stream starts at 9:30 tonight. In the meantime, am I still sharing the stream? Hold on. I think I am, right, that's fine, perfect. So I'll just see if I can find a song to play us out with. And I will see from... Oh, for Olivia Key, she might have uploaded a new song. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Let me see. Even if she has, I'll see if I can play that. I hope she wouldn't mind of me doing that, of course. Yeah, Cloud 14, that's the new song. Yeah, I'm going to play Olivia Key's new song called Cloud 14 as the outro song for today. Either way, again, I hope she wouldn't mind me doing so. Either way, thank you very much for your time. I'll even also post a link of her new video in the chat for you guys to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Other than that, that's the end of episode 11 of Mood of the Nation podcast. So yeah, she uploaded a new one. Perfect. Well, with that all being said and done, thank you all very much for watching tonight. This is Chief Moody signing out. You've been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast. I will see you this Thursday at 6 p.m. with episode 12. And yeah, see you until then. Thank you all very much. Take care and good night.
I can almost see it. Ships on the horizon, a reckoning. I choose not to despair. The miles ahead are fewer than the battles lost. By giving all the gifts I have, I float to the ceiling. I sink into healing. And I'm one with my fathers and their fathers and their mothers and their daughters. They're all watching. I won't falter. I won't falter. I won't falter, I won't falter.